like, okay, we're gonna try this again. August kickoff 2.0. No, the other part that I was gonna say when Emily had was talking was about not getting likes. So like, I don't know, even my last Instagram and Facebook posts, because I know one of the girls that I follow, hey, it's not going to come off. Okay. It's literally supposed to be on there, bud. But I know a Triple Diamond that I follow, and her business posts and product posts sometimes get like 5 to 15 likes. That's it. I got 26 on one, 26 on another, 18 on one, 15 on one, like stuff like that. It doesn't matter. And the girl I'm talking about that I follow so closely has the exact same thing happen. And I have 2 different examples for that as well. Grace, I had no idea she existed until I think she might have started up on my story. I can't remember how we started talking about the business, but I literally had no idea she existed until then. And then Summer, my newest girl, she told me no. And I don't know if she blocked me, but I definitely didn't see her stuff for a while. And then she was like, hey, actually, I think I do want to do this. And then she took that leap and signed up. And so just because people don't comment or like, don't think that they're not interested, because they're still watching. They're just trying to work through their own fears. So that is the last thing I wanted to say on that.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Just make sure you don't get caught up in those, because people are watching you. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about to set yourself up for success. So last month, if there was something that took you longer than you would like, so let's say messaging, if you kept like going back and forth to your notes to get a certain script, I want you to go add that script to your whatever you're using, probably boards now, because that's what we're using now. That's like newer, and we have the team board and all that. So boards, get your boards updated, and that's going to help you with messaging. It's going to help you. It's going to go a lot smoother. You can get a lot more done. And so scripts that I use a lot and that I feel like I haven't added in there, and I'm still using them, going back and forth to my notes to get, and it's taking me longer like to do that. I'm like, okay, I need to go add this to my notes. So one thing I also did this morning was on my boards that I created, I have my own board that I put like my stuff in that I use every single day, just for like easier access. And I already had a word board going, and then boards was like the thing now. So anyway, I transitioned all my stuff to that like one of the last days in the month. And then this morning I was like, you know what, instead of going to my results album on my photo album, I added results folder on my personal board too. Now we do have a results board. I just have a few boards, and it takes me too long. Anyway, I'm trying to work smarter, not harder, and not have to scroll somewhere to get one thing that I need, that I use every single day. So my point in that is, if you find yourself having to scroll to get it, or search to get it, or whatever it may be, make it to where it's easier to get to. So if you need to make your own board with your own scripts, and you can put pictures, one thing I love about boards is you can put the pictures in there on like word board or whatever it was, you can do that. So anyway, make sure that you just have yourself organized, whatever you need to find quickler. I can't say that word quickly. Okay, whatever you need to find quickly, just add it to your boards, so that way it's easy. And work smarter, not harder. But also something that I read in my personal development, or I listened to the other day, whenever people are saying like work smarter, not harder, also work hard and be smart about it. Like everybody says work smarter, not harder, but also work hard and be smart about it. So I thought that was a really good point there. So just make sure, if you need help with any organization, reach out to your upline. I cannot talk tonight. And just ask them, what can I do to make this better or easier to find, or how can I stay organized in my business? And that's going to help you. Anything you want to add to like organization or anything like that, Brooke?
Yeah, just remember that like the way that I keep track of stuff is different than the way that Emily keeps track of stuff. and Carly and Grace and probably even Summer and Angel too. Like it's all going to be different because like Emily's host to post method stresses me out more than I can even put into words, but it works for her. She signed like, I don't know, 15 customers last month or something like that. And the months that I do my host to post like I sign 15 customers. So like it really just depends. So like you can ask for advice, but if you're like, that overwhelms me, don't do it. Like don't try to be someone. Now I mean, like I'm not saying don't be open to it. If you know yourself and you're like, there's no way I'm ever gonna do this or be consistent with it, okay, don't do it. But if you're like, I feel like I might like be able to try this, okay, try it. And then if you try it for 2 weeks consistently and you're still like either overwhelmed or you're not enjoying it, okay, yeah, definitely change it. Like don't be afraid to change something if it's not working. I guess would be the shortest version of explaining what I have to say there.
Yes. And also a point on that is like, just like Brooke said, somebody might be doing something differently than the other person. But for you, you have to find what works best for you. And that might take you trying a few different things in the business. I'm gonna be honest with you. I tried a few different things and I asked one of the thing that I learned was like organization is very important in the business. If you're organized, that's going to help you so much. I'm not green at all. I'm not green, but I love being organized in my business. And so I would always ask about organization tips and how like they did it and how you do it and da 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 da. And so you finally like you just have to find what works best for you and then stick with it and do that consistently and you will see results doing it. Okay, so I think my last little point here that I want to talk about is just show up for your business, be consistent, and be disciplined. So, like, I didn't feel good last night and I woke up not really feeling the best still today, but I did my work anyway because I know that I have goals that I'm running after, things that I want to do differently with my family. I want more for us, all the things. And you have to remember that if you're consistent in your business, that is going to get you where you want to go because consistency is like the number one thing in this business that will help you be successful. So be disciplined and be consistent, and that'll get you a long ways.
The only thing I have to add on to that before you, I don't know if y'all saw that he just like pushed my hand out of the way so he can move his little tractor here. He's getting really sassy lately. But the only thing I have to say to it is that you're not always going to want to, like similar to when you don't feel good, but like today has been a really overwhelming day with Ranger. I'm not even gonna lie. He was not great at lunch. Like he wasn't bad by any means, but he's trying to communicate something to me and I wasn't getting it. Like he had an hour and a half nap this morning, like right before we went to lunch. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. He's gonna be hungry. He's gonna be good. He threw so much crap on the floor. He was whining and I was like, what is happening? And I was trying to figure it out, obviously. But like it was overwhelming. And obviously now I know I'm by myself for a week, so I don't get that break. And so days like today, or days like when Emily's sick, or maybe you're in a fight with your spouse and or partner or whatever, or maybe you're just like, I just really don't feel like doing this today. You're not ever gonna, in a sense, feel like doing it. Like I don't wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Some days I do, some days I don't. But like today I wasn't because I didn't have a coffee for 2 hours. I was freaking exhausted. Okay. It's discipline. That is what? You can get it. It's discipline that's going to get you places. I am not motivated every single day to do what I need to do, but I know that I will never look at him and tell him that he's not worth it. And I know not everyone is a mom, but like, let's say Carly's like, I'm going to pay for my wedding in cash. But then she has to look at Blake and be like, you know what, Blake, I actually didn't feel like working today. So we're actually going to have to get a loan for our wedding. Blake's probably going to be pretty ticked, because he's like, oh, well, am I enough? You know what I mean? Like you have to be disciplined in it because if you're not disciplined and if you're not consistent, it's not going to work for you. Like I'll be straight up honest. I'm not a red person at all, but it just won't. Okay. So that's my little spiel on that. And I'll talk a little bit later on it too, but I want to talk about being excited because obviously most of the time, unless I'm exhausted, when I make my coffee stories, I'm a pretty excited person. Oh, Emily, do you have something? Sorry.
Can I say something real quick before we get off track of like consistency and discipline? Brooke said at the beginning of the Zoom, like, give yourself grace. So I want to remind you, like, whenever you're messaging, like, find a number that works for you. So let's say you want to make sure you grow your network. You want to follow 30 new people on Instagram a day. Set a minimum so that when you have your bad days, give yourself grace and do the minimum. But when you're having your good days, go above and beyond and do like that extra 10%, because the extra 10% is going to get you so far. So you can give yourself grace, but you can still do your task. Just do small numbers, small amounts, and remind yourself, like, I did this today, but I'm reminding myself, I'm giving myself grace because I didn't feel good, or my baby was sick, whatever the case may be, but you still did something. And that's going to make so much improvements in your business. That's all.
Yeah, yeah, you're good. You're good. Definitely like learn to give yourself grace and like know, especially because I know like a lot of my girls have texted me like, hey, like I'm just genuinely not having a good day. How do I do this? And I was like, give yourself a break then. Like, don't feel like you have to do it. Like, I'm someone that I definitely enjoy working in an hour spurt, getting it done, and then doing whatever else I want with my day. But like, there's people who work throughout the day. There's people who work only at nighttime after their kids go to bed. Like, there's so many different ways to work this business that it doesn't matter. But what does matter is if you're like excited doing it. If you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm just so pissed, like I can't find anyone to add. Like, if you're like that, okay, you probably need to put your phone down and go do something for yourself. Go watch a Netflix show or go for a walk or go do something that you enjoy doing, and then come back to it and try it in like a 10-15 minute spurt and see how you feel. Because then I even take a nap. Yeah. Like just go refresh yourself and see if you feel a little better. And if you don't push yourself into it. Like you have to give yourself grace because obviously your mental health is important. And this business obviously is incredible, especially with the things it can do for you. But if it's going to push your mental health like to an unhealthy level, it's not worth it. Okay. So what I sorry, he's like crawling at the cats. Anyways, what I want to talk about is being excited. So most of the time, unless I'm exhausted on my story, I'm a fairly excited person on my story. Okay. But if I was like, hey, Summer, you should go see this movie. It's pretty good. So Summer's not going to go see that movie. If you're on my team, you probably heard me say that before. But she's not going to go see that movie. But if I'm like, Summer, oh my gosh, this movie is so good, you have to go see this. I bet she's going to be interested to at least watch the trailer. Okay. And so you're probably going to be like, well, what if there's a day that I'm not excited or not having a good day or something like that, or I don't feel good? Okay, that's okay. Literally put anything else on your story that's not your face. I'm not telling you to do it every day, but there were days that I was like, I'm not okay. And I'm not going to try to be like, hey, I'm so excited. Cause I wasn't. I was like, no, I'm pissed right now. I'm just like, I'm having a bad day, like I'm not, I do not hide my emotions on my face. So you can very well see that something is like wrong. And so I'm not going to try to fake that because people can tell even through social media. And so sorry, we are in a season of spitting out the things that we drink. And I don't know why. And it's anyways. Lost my train of thought for a second. Being excited. Oh yeah. Don't just try to be fake. Don't do it just because we tell you to put your face on your story. Like you can show your son or daughter doing this. You can show your backyard. You can show what you're having for lunch. Like you can show stuff that still is about your life without having to show your face. Like even on my bad days, when I go to Target, do you want to know the amount of people that swipe up and say, oh my gosh, you're at Target again? What are you getting? It's literally just Target. Okay. And just the other day, my friend Amber tagged me in a thing about Costco because I'm obsessed with their parking lot because they actually have space in between the dang parking spots. So people with kids or even bigger people can actually get out without feeling squished. And I press about it every time I go to Costco. Okay. So Amber tagged me in it, which I was like, hey, I'm doing my job right. She's like, that's something I brand myself on. And she tagged me in it. But then another girl on our team was like, hey, I didn't tag you, but I actually thought about you when she posted that because you've been posting so much about Costco. I was like, yes. So that's a little bit off of being excited. He just did the yes thing with me. That's a little bit off of being excited, but I really just like want you guys to remember that like if you're not excited about it, honestly, your social media is not going to be. And especially if you're like, yeah, this coffee's great. It's just I really enjoy it and it keeps me going throughout the day. Like they're not gonna like do that. So like on the days where you're tired making your coffee, be like, dude, I'm exhausted. My kid didn't sleep, or like we've been out to the bars last night, got home at like 2 a.m. and I got up at 7, or like whatever it is, like just literally be so honest and like explain why you're tired, But I guess it was going into my next part about posting on your stories daily. The importance of this is that like my team did not join me because I sell It Works. And Emily's team and Carly's team did not join them because they sell It Works. They joined them because of them. That's a little thems, but you get what I'm saying. Like they joined me, like my team joined me for a reason. They were connected to me. They felt something with me. They felt like they could trust me to help them achieve the goals that they want to achieve. And the reason is that because they feel like they know me. I bet a good chunk of these people, especially that are mine, could tell you what I do on a daily, where I go, like where I go to eat, probably who my friends are, like well, I don't know if they could tell Granger's birthday, but they could probably tell you roughly how old he is or maybe some of the things he's even done because I post about it. Okay. And so I came off my Sabbath, so it's not like in a sense, I guess, as full as it normally is. But made my coffee. Okay. So I talked about it today. Talked about how exhausted I was. Posted a coffee slide. There's that Costco thing I was talking about that Amber tagged me in. Posted that I was nap trapped with Granger. Posted a business post. Oh yeah, you can't see it, but it says, I wonder what it's like to put your hair in a low ponytail and not look like a founding father. And I freaking died at that because I hate wearing my hair in a low ponytail. And I've never been able to explain why to people. And that was just honestly like the best thing ever. So that's what I shared. And then, oh yeah, and then I went to Olive Garden with my friend. And then, sorry, I don't know what this is. Oh, someone tagged me that I inspired them. So I thought it was really sweet. So I added to my story. I played tractors with Granger and we watched Tarzan. And I took my hair, skin, and nails. So today hasn't been like as full as mine normally is, but that's okay because I don't have to add to my story every hour. I try to, but like when I was at lunch with my friend, I was like, I haven't seen her in literally 2 years since Granger was like a month old, not even. I'm not gonna sit here and worry about adding to my story. I went to Olive Garden and that was it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to do that, but you still want to show the parts of your life because that's what's gonna get people connected. Like Summer went to Hobby Lobby today, and she's local to me, and so I was like, should I text her and say I want to go to Hobby Lobby? And I was like, no, I shouldn't go to Hobby Lobby because I knew I would go spend money. But like, I know that she went to Hobby Lobby, and there's a whole point to that behind that. But my whole point is people want to know you, whether you think they do or not. And like, my backyard is very pretty. The pond is very pretty. And I post about it a decent amount. And I cannot tell you the amount of swipe ups that I get on that thing. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I wish I lived there. Like all the things. And it's literally just a backyard with a pond. Same thing with food or same thing with Granger. Like he's so cute. Oh my gosh, how old? Like it's just the simplest things that you wouldn't think people actually care about. They really, really do. So I guess that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. And I guess I already hit on like posting on your story when you're having a bad day because I actually had a pretty decent day, even though it was a trying day. Of like showing other things. So like I can still be on my story and not show my face is I guess what I'm trying to say. Do you have anything to hit on that before I like talk about the next part?
I don't think so. I think you do like a really great job on posting on your story. That's what's like we think we need Brooke to talk about this.
Okay, all right. And I guess posting on my feed, everyone's different because I know Grace follows a pretty similar thing to how Rachel suggests on the content planning Zoom. But like usually for me, I post a business post, which could be either my story, like with the business, or just a quote. And then I post a personal post, which is usually about Granger in the day. And then I usually also post an interactive post on my profile. So that's like the one I did about the low ponytails that kind of blew up today. But just like I think it was like 3 days ago, I did one that was like, I'm curious to see who's on my social media. And it was a heart for every like decade. And that got like 150 comments. So I didn't post one the next day because I was like, okay, this is still getting interaction. So like it really depends on what you want to do. But my biggest advice with posting is to make your feed look bright. And it doesn't have to be like a certain way or a certain color or like anything like that. But I feel like you are more attracted to bright things instead of dark. And so that's just something to think about. And there'll be more to come on that later, but I just wanted to touch on it real quick. So the next thing I want to talk about is being vulnerable and speaking about fear. Because the reason that I sign the distributors that I do is when I get on there, I'm speaking directly to their fears. And so more than likely, and I don't know for sure, but more than likely, Summer probably saw one of my stories. And I was talking directly to her. Some days I might have been, wink, wink. But I did the same thing with Grace because I had seriously such a good feeling about both of them. And I was like, man, like gosh, these girls they're supposed to be here, you know? And so usually if someone tells me no, especially if I have a really good feeling about them, when I'm on my story, I'm going to talk about that. So sometimes tonight between the Zooms, I'm going to hop. Oh, he's literally spinning on the blankets now. Sometime tonight, I am going to talk on my story and I'll be like, oh my gosh, today has been like really up and down because it's been so great because I got to go have lunch with my friend, but Granger's been a little testy today. But I'm so thankful because normally I would have been waitressing during the summer and I would not have been able to like get that day, that time off to go have lunch with my friend. And I know there's so many people out there that want this, but they're literally so scared of blank. And so like, let's say someone was scared of not having a big enough following. I could be like, hey, I literally started Instagram with 200 followers and now I'm up to like 5,500 or something like that. Like I've met new people because of this business and I will teach you exactly how to do the same. And I'm going to be here for you every single step of the way. Like I will not leave you. But I'm also using my color personality to my advantage. And so I'm a very big yellow. And if you spit that out, I'm gonna lose my crap tonight, guys. So what was I saying?
Color personality to your
Color
advantage.
personalities. Thank you. I was like, it's gone. It's literally gone. So anyways, color personalities. So if you haven't dove deep down into it, it's fine. Like I can get to it, but I'm a very big yellow, which means I like basically wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm very into my feelings. I'm very like complimentary. I love helping people. So when I'm on my story, I use that to my advantage, not in the sense of I'm like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of them, but I know as a yellow, I'm like, I know exactly what they were feeling because I felt the same thing. And it's why I watched for a whole entire year on Morgan. Okay. But if it's someone that's green, I'm like, okay, hey, guess what? You signed 5 customers this week. You can get $100 right off the bat and make your money back plus more. Like Summer's already sold $30 at least if I haven't got an update in samples. And she was worried about not making her money back. Boom. Like she did it. Or she's like 10 or $15 away, but she did it. And she's only been in like less than a week. That's incredible. And people are just so scared. They just have to get over their fears. Like that's literally what it is. Now, if you're a blue, or if you have people that are blue, what I really, really recommend doing is posting constantly about Zoom. So like if you haven't posted a boomerang about this Zoom yet, go post about that and be like, you are never alone. Like I love this community. I love that we're jamming out to music on a power hour or whatever, but like any Zoom you're on, post about it on your story so that they know there is that community. And then when you do get to meet people in person, obviously you can post about that, but that's just something to do. And then if you're red, I would also use the money aspect because I know that people are very, very competitive. But you could bring up the retreat and be like, hey, you're going to get an all-inclusive trip. Oh my gosh, an all-inclusive trip besides your flights in Michigan or to Michigan in September. If you join and are willing to do the things that I am like teaching you. Okay. So you can use your color personalities to your advantage because more than likely what's on your team or what's on your social media is what's on your team. Okay, baby, stop shaking the table. And so I just want you to remember that. And you're not using it to take advantage of them. You're just using it to relate to them. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I don't know if you want to touch on any of that at all. If you don't, that's fine.
No, I think that's all perfect. And like everything you're saying, it's great.
Okay. All right. So the next thing that I want to talk about here, okay, so we're doing okay on time, is making sure that you're making time for your family. I'm gonna lose my stuff, guys. Your family, your kids, your boyfriend, your fiance, whatever it is, make sure you are making time for them. Because I know, especially when people are new, they're like, oh my gosh, I gotta respond. I gotta do my training. I gotta do this. No. Like literally, if you set time to go to the park, like tomorrow, I'm gonna lose I can't do it. Sorry. I just am like, I'm not okay, guys. Anyways, so I set time tomorrow to go to the park with Granger and my friend Mackenzie and her 2 girls. I'm not going to be on my phone at the park. Am I going to probably respond to a few more messages? Oh, now you want to sit on me? Okay. When I get to the park, yeah, I probably am. But then when I'm at the park, I'm going to be oh, you are soaking wet. So incredibly present with Granger and Mackenzie and all of them that they're not even going to know I work from my phone. Yeah, you're like, okay. And so like, I want you to think about that. And so like Daniel and I, when he's here, have a family night. Cause obviously Sunday and Monday are pretty booked for Zooms. Are you okay? All right. And so on Tuesday, when he gets home, we have a family night and it's kind of like a mini Sabbath. Like I'll check my phone if I go to the bathroom sort of thing to see if anything's like, yeah. Are you saying hi? Can you say hi? That's sort of high. I'll take that. And so I will take that time on Tuesday and I make sure extra to get that stuff done on Tuesday so that we can be present with each other on Tuesday night. Now, Wednesday and Thursday is not like for sure family night, but I do try to have my stuff done, but I work from home or wherever I want to go. And so I don't have to worry about it. Seeing this is motherhood right here. Sour Patch Kid. And so I just really want to like hit on that. And like if you're maybe you work during the week and so the weekends are really important to you and you're going camping and you're doing all these things, okay, get your stuff done either on the way to something, get your stuff done on the way to wherever you cannot touch the computer, okay? Get your stuff done on the way to wherever you're going so that way you don't have to worry. Like, don't get me wrong. What I really enjoy car rides with my husband, I do, but I really enjoy getting my stuff done before we get there so I don't even have to worry about it. And so whether that looks like for you, like especially if you are going to take a vacation soon, whatever that looks like for you is fine. If it looks like getting up early in the morning, great. If it looks like working like on your drives to places, great. If it looks like working at the nighttime after everyone goes to bed, do it. Because we've got like I have my own photography business as well. And in October, I'm gonna go to Nashville and Daniel will be there with me with Granger. But I'm not just gonna not work. Like I'll take my Sabbath on Saturday for the wedding because I'll be doing my photography anyways. But then Sunday, Monday, Tuesday that we're there, I am going to still be doing my work. I'm not just gonna skip it because I know that I want to plant those seeds for those days. And I know that I still have a team that really needs me. And so I'm gonna do that and I'll probably still get up early and that's fine. And it's obviously just depend on the day. I mean, if we're gonna drive an hour somewhere, okay, I can get my work done in that time. But I'm still gonna be present when we get to wherever we're going because I don't want to be on my phone. I don't want Granger to see me on my phone. Like that's not something I want for my family, and it's not something that you should want either. And I'm not saying like you do want that, but sometimes we can feel like, oh my gosh, I need to respond. Oh my gosh, I need to respond. Like I don't feel bad about taking a Sabbath. Like straight up, I tell my girls I'm not going to be available. Like this Saturday is our anniversary. You can dang well bet I will not answer a text. I will not even look at it till Sunday. And I don't feel bad about that because it's okay. And like if if Granger needs me, like when he was sick, I let my team know. I was like, hey, Granger is not feeling good. I am going to be really slow at responding today. And so when he was like struggling, when he was just wanting to cuddle and stuff, I put my phone down for a little bit. Like it's okay to put your phone down and be with your family as long as you're still getting your work done. And I guess that's what I really want to like reiterate to you because when I promoted to Ruby for the first time, I guess, when I promoted to Ruby is a better way to word that. After that, my husband was like, so can I have my wife back now? And I was like, oh, okay. Yikes. And that was a wake-up call for me because that showed that I was on my phone too much and I was not making enough time for Daniel. And so after that, obviously we got our family night in order and things got a lot better from there, but I had to learn that lesson the hard way, and that's what I don't want for you guys. So it doesn't have to be a Tuesday night. It doesn't have to be even a weeknight. I just want you guys to be aware of when you're around your family to like actually be present with your family and not give them any ammo to say, oh, you're always on your phone sort of thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Hold on. Emily, do you have anything to add to that or no? You're fine. You're not getting on the table.
A lot of these things, I feel like I used to struggle with, like being on my phone all the time or feeling like I need to respond to messages like as soon as I get them coming in. But in like the messages will be there, whenever you get done spending time with your kids or making lunch for your kids or whatever it may be. Just remember to be present during, times that you need to be present as well. And you have to remember also, like your kids are only going to be little for so long. So just make sure you don't want to like look back one day and say like, man, I just wish I would have spent more time with them. So just remember to make your family a priority and don't forget to spend time with them, when they need it, or, every day spend a little bit of time with your kids away from your phone, things like that. And, yeah, Brooke is really good about this. Like I used to go to Brooke for tips. I'll be like, I'm really struggling. Like I need you to help me. So, but just remember like the messages and the people and the potentials, like that will be there when you get back. You don't have to respond right away, but don't let that hold you back from spending time with your babies.
Even with that, two things. One, Grace mentioned you join this business for them, so don't push them away, which is really, really good way to word that. And then also, just because I want to be really real with you guys, I cannot tell you the amount of people I have actually lost because I didn't respond to them. So like something happened in our apartment complex with a word I can't say of a lady, and it was not good, and I was emotionally not okay, and I lost customers because I didn't respond the next day, and they're like, well, you took too long to respond, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, and I I was like, literally, I don't care. Like I had to put my family first and I'm not going to apologize for that. And so if you lose them for that, literally the sale is not worth it. Them signing up is not worth it. And I promise you that. It's going to suck in the moment of like, oh, I just lost a sale, but I promise you it's not worth it. I promise you whatever hassle they would have been, it's not worth it. So that's the last thing I wanted to hit on there. And then I know we're almost running out of time here. Oh my gosh. My goodness. So the last thing I want to talk about is the retreat. I just threw a pillow at me. Is a retreat. Not just the retreat. Not just the retreat, but your goals in general. Okay. So I know that Grace is running for this retreat because she texts me almost every single day. I'm running for this retreat. I'm running for this retreat. I'm running for this retreat, or tags me in something. I know she's running for that retreat. Okay, Summer just joined, so I haven't even talked to her. I'm going to talk to her about on Thursday when we hang out. But there's other girls or the people on the team that I'm like, I have no idea if they're running for the retreat because I literally have never heard that from them at all. Okay, but every single day, you know what I do? I text Morgan, I'm running for that retreat. I'm running for that retreat. I just sent a customer, I'm running for that retreat every single day because I want my social media to know where I'm going. So I was like, hey, and you can bet that third week of September or whatever it is, after Granger's birthday, I am going to be in Michigan. I'm going to be at that dang retreat. Okay, so I have talked about that almost every day. I would say like 4 out of the 7 days of the week, I have talked about it on my story or made a post about it. And so I just really want to like tell you guys about that. Because even if you're like, let's say, well, I know Grace moved her wedding, but she was getting married. But let's say you're getting married or you just had a surgery and you like, no, you can't make it. Like one of the, I think it was Green Carpet, the year that Granger was born. It was a week after he was due or 2 weeks after he was due. And so I knew I wasn't going to that no matter what. So obviously my goal was not to go to the retreat that year because I was not going to be able to make it. But I still had a goal, and I don't remember exactly what the goal was then. It might have been, I think it was already Emerald, so I don't remember what the goal was. Either way, I was shouting out my goals on social media. I was like, hey, this is what I'm doing. You know, like, does your social media know in 6 months, what are you going to be doing? Or in December, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be paying off a couple loans? Excuse me. Are you going to be paying for your wedding in cash? Like, what are you going to be doing? And does your social media know about it? I guess is what I want to talk about. But also, what does it mean to run for that? To me, it doesn't just mean to text your enroller and be like, I'm running for this every single day. To me, it means to make the sacrifices. So like there are days that I definitely did not want to wake up at 4, and I'm not telling you have to wake up at 4. I'm not saying that at all. I am a 4 a.m. person, and that is because my son is insane, and he is a 4:30, 5 o'clock kind of morning kind of baby. Okay. He literally woke up at 4:30 with me today and has been up since then besides his 2 naps. It's insane. That's the only reason that I get up at 4. Otherwise, I wouldn't get up at that time because I don't have to. Granger, we're not going back there. Okay. And so I guess what I want to talk about is like, if you're going to get up early in the morning to get your stuff done, stop. If you're going to get up early, don't push the snooze. Hold on. Emily, can you take over for a second? Thank God I was muted. Sorry. I thought for a second I wasn't muted. I was like, I wasn't saying anything bad. I just don't like, I don't put that stuff on social media. Anyways, so what it's talking about is like, if you're telling yourself you're going to get up early every single day, get up early and don't give yourself an excuse unless like you need, like if you're not feeling good and you need sleep so to get better. Okay. Yeah. Give yourself grace and feel better. But if it's just like, oh, I'm just tired, I'm not really feeling okay, sorry. But anyways, I just want you guys to be consistent with it. Like if you're going to set a goal, like maybe you're going to get up at 8 every day, or maybe you're going to get up at 7 so you can get on the power hours, whatever it's going to be, stay consistent with that. And whatever you set, like I'm going to show you this app real quick. Cause it's really, really helped me and it's helped like with my accountability too. So I have things in this app every single day. You can't really see it. Sorry. It's very bright. I wish there was a dark version of it. Okay. You have things every day and these darker colors are the ones that I've gotten done today. Okay. So like obviously I'm gonna give myself grace some days. Wow, that's a lot more things I thought. But this is because I break everything up because I'm really organized. But what I'm saying is like I told myself I'm going to that retreat. And so I'm like, okay, what would someone going to that retreat? How would they be acting every day on their social media? How would they be showing up? Would they be sleeping in? Would they be not showing up to power hours, not showing up to team Zooms? All this stuff. I think about that on the daily. And that's what I think it means to run for a promotion or run for a goal and to shout it out. So I guess that's what I got for you. And I'm going to get him calmed down for a minute and Emily can touch on that for a minute.
My thing that I'll leave you with about the retreat is don't count yourself out. If you are shooting for diamond, one of the qualifications is diamond rank to be at the retreat, and you're shooting for it, but don't count yourself out because you feel like you're so far away. You can run for that retreat. You can show up for your business and show up to everything that, is part of the qualification. Show up for yourself, show up to Zoom, show up to power hours, be in the chats, all the other things. And you could be a coach's pick. So don't count yourself out. Run your auto shipment, do all the work you can do to show that you are trying and that you want to be there, that you're running for it, you're claiming you will be at the retreat, but just don't sit back and count yourself out because you can be there. You can be there. So don't count yourself out.
No, along with that, I didn't go to the retreat. Let me think here. Last year, because I just don't really genuinely think that I was ready to leave Granger at that point. And then 2019, I just had him, so obviously I didn't go. And so what I wanted to talk about though was the retreat in 2018 that I did go to. I did not earn that by spot, but I shouted it out every single day. But I didn't think that I was gonna go. I genuinely was like, there's no way I'm getting picked for this. There's no way I'm gonna hit the rank needed. There's no way I'm gonna be able to do it. There's no way. And then a girl named Zoe, who used to be on our team, called me and she was like, what are you doing on this date? And I was like, I don't think anything. Why? And she's like, because you're going to be going to the retreat. And I cried. I straight up cried. I was like, huh? And she's like, literally, we've seen you show up so much. We've seen you lead this team. Like, you've just encouraged so many people and you're just a light to this team. Like, we want you there. And I was like, what? And so just going along with Emily, it really, if you count yourself out, yeah, you probably won't go. But if you still put in that effort, even if you're like, I don't know, I bet you'll get seen and you'll get noticed, because we as leaders get texts, or I'm like, Emily, oh my gosh, your girl is showing up. Like, holy crap. I cannot tell you the amount of people that have been like, oh my gosh. Like I texted Morgan that Grace sent a customer and that Summer had already made the $30 in samples already. And she's like, dang. And those are the people that she's looking at. The people who get on the Zooms and who are big in the chats, things like that. And I know if you're not in chats, it's fine. Like, don't worry about that yet. But like, that's what they're looking for in these coach specs. Like, are you open? Are you excited? Do the leaders on this team know where you're going? I guess is what I wanted to kind of leave you with, and to just not give up, because when you push yourself and you be consistent, nothing can stop you. Like literally nothing can stop you, because you're in control of everything. Like, so it's what we say before you join the business, and it's obviously what we say as you join the business. So I know that we have another Zoom that we have to get on here, so I'm probably going to end this, but I hope that this helped you guys. I hope that you got something from it. I hope that you feel enlightened's not the right word, inspired, like excited for the month. Like, this is my birthday month. I'm pumped. I'm determined. Like, I know where I'm going this month, and I hope you guys do too. And I hope that you truly just get something from the Zoom. That's what I'm going to talk too much otherwise. Sorry. I'll stop the recording. Stopping. Yes. Stop.